Hello, welcome to Dr. Zahir Math. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome back to another helpful session on Dr. Zahir Math. Today, we are starting a new and very important topic, section 7.3, solving trigonometric equations. In this lesson, you will learn how to solve equations involving sine, cosine, and tangent. That is sine theta, cosine theta, and tan theta. Step by step with simple explanations and tricks. These type of equations are very common in your exams. So make sure you watch till the end. Let's make trigonometry easy together. Before going to this 7.3 solving trigonometric equations, I'm going to give the list of formula you need to remember. Okay, right. We already talked about quadrants. So I'm going to give you some quadrant rule. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. We all of us know there are 4 quadrants are there, right? And what is the formula you are going to remember for x? Formula for finding x. Okay. If the theta lies in the first quadrant, your x will be is equal to theta. Then the next x will be equal to pi minus theta. X is equal to pi plus theta and x equals 2 pi minus theta. Right. In quadrant 1, we know everything. That is, you are going to look up after the signs. So, in first quadrant, you know sine theta is positive, cosine theta is positive, and tan theta is positive. In second quadrant, you know very well, right? Sine only positive. Next, you have tan only positive. Next, cosine only positive. Sine, tangent and cosine. So this we call it as STC, right? So this we call it as all STC. So in the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and the fourth quadrant, right? So all STC. So this box you need to remember. So the quadrants, formula for x and the sine theta. So these formulas you need to remember first. Keep in your mind. So quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Okay, right. 4 quadrants are there and each quadrant you are going to remember what is the formula for finding x. Theta, pi minus theta, pi plus theta, 2 pi minus theta. This is the first formula you have to remember. Okay, right. Let's go to the second formula which you are going to remember. The second formula is the formula for finding general solution of trigonometrical equations, right? So here also I'm going to make a rule. This is sine theta, cosine theta and tan theta. For sine theta, you're going to remember the solution as x equals theta plus 2n pi. Cosine theta is also same formula, x equals theta plus 2n pi. For tan theta, it's different, theta plus n pi. Okay. And what is n? N is an integer. N is what? Is an integer. N is an integer, right? Integer means what? You know very well. 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, right? So always you should write n belongs to z. Z is set of all integers. Z is what? Set of all integers. Set of all integers, right? So why we are giving this formula, general solution? Because for every trigonometric equations, you are going to write the general solution. If the equation is in sine theta, you are going to write this formula. If the equation is in cosine theta, you are going to write this formula. If the equation is in tan theta, you are going to write this as a solution. Okay, teacher. If it is in cosecant, secant, cot, you convert into your reverses. Cosecant you convert into sine and secant you convert into cosine, and then this one you convert into tan. Cotan you convert into tan. Why this formula is coming? Because we already studied in the previous module sine of x plus 2 pi, it's equal to what? Sine x. Where we studied? When we were studying about the graph of a sine function and graph of a cosine function. So when one complete rotation is over, you will get the original value sine. Similarly, cosine is also x plus 2 pi. which is equal to cosine x. Similarly, tan x is equal to tan of x plus pi is equal to tan x. Okay, so that's why you're getting n pi. Here it is 2n pi, here it is 2n pi. Right. So now, while adding 2n pi, sine theta is a periodic function. Periodic function means what? The same values will repeat in the one full circle. That is the main idea. For every 2 pi, the values will be keep repeating. So that's the main idea behind this. Okay, right. Now, these are the formulas you need to remember before we study 7.3 trigonometric equations. Only two tables, very easy to remember. This formula and the next formula, general solution. Let's go to the first equation. Verify that each value is a solution of the equation tan x minus root 3 equal to 0. What do you mean by solution? Suppose I say x plus 4 is equal to 0 is an equation. Check x is equal to 2 is a solution. If I ask you a question like this, what you do? You put x is equal to 2 in this equation. So x plus 4, I put x is equal to 2. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. 6 is equal to 0? No. So it means what? X is equal to 2 is not a solution. We will write a solution like this, right? Same manner, they are asking you to check x equals pi by 3 is a solution for this equation. And they ask you to check x equals 4 pi by 3 is a solution for this equation. So two questions are there. So first thing, we are going to check x equals pi by 3 is a solution. Take your calculator. Please keep in your mind, your calculator should be in the radian mode. Must be in radian mode because you are using pi. Radian mode, how you get? You get shift mode, you will get radian. Shift mode, press shift mode, and then the number is 4. So then you will get what? Radian. Right. So I'm going to put x is equal to pi by 3. So tan, okay, and then you put pi by 3 minus square root of 3 in the calculator. So let me start in the calculator. Tan x, tan pi by 3, pi is in the down, minus square root of 3 equal to, I'm getting 0. What is on the right hand side? The right hand side is also what? Equal to 0. So therefore, this is a solution. So therefore, x is equal to pi by 3 is the solution of this equation. Let's go to the next question, which is B. The B question is what? X equals 4 pi by 3. So x equals 4 pi by 3. You're going to put in the calculator, right? Tan 4 pi by 3 minus square root of 3 in the calculator. Minus root 3. So I'm getting 0, which is also equal to right hand side. So from this, x is equal to 4 pi by 3 is also a solution of this equation, right? Similarly, the same idea, another question is there. You're going to check x is equal to pi by 2 is the solution for the equation, this one. X is equal to 5 pi by 12, you're going to check, right? So the first question we are going to put is 3 tan square 2x minus 1 equal to 0. So you are going to put x is equal to pi by 2. Look here, tan square, how you put in the calculator, I will tell you. You just put 3. Then open a bracket in the calculator and then type tan. When you press tan, automatically bracket will open. Then you put 2 and then you are going to put x, right? X is nothing but what? X multiply. I'll put dot. And then this is pi by 2. This is multiply. Keep in your mind. 2 multiply pi by 2. Close the bracket. And then you close the bracket. Then you press square. Okay. This square you cannot type in the calculator. Keep in your mind. Or close this whole bracket and then press 2. This 2. This will become a square. And then minus 1. Let me start now. 3 times multiply tan square 2 multiply by 2 pi by 2 is equal to minus 1. So I'm getting 0, which is equal to my right hand side. Okay, right. So from this, what can I say? X equals pi by 2 is the solution. Right. Let me go to the B question, right? So here also 3 tan square 2x minus 1 equal to 0. So 3 tan square 2 multiply by 5 pi by 2 minus 1. So this equals, how to put in the calculator? You have to put in the calculator, again I'm telling, which is 3 bracket open, tan, okay, open bracket, this bracket automatically it will open, 2 multiply 5 pi by 2, close the bracket, then this press the square. This square will automatically represent this one, minus 1. Let me start now. It's radian mode, 3 brackets, tan, okay, 2 multiply fraction mode, shift pi over 2 and then bracket close. It's not 2, it's 5 pi by 2. It is 5 pi by 2 and then bracket close, then again bracket close and then square and then arrow mark down, minus 1. So we just go down and then minus 1. Minus 1, press equal. I'm getting 3 tan square 2 times 5 pi by 2 the whole square minus 1. I'm getting minus 1. Let me check what is the answer for this one. Once again, 3 tan square. I think you can check in the calculator. I'm not getting 0 this one. Wait a minute. Right, you put this in the calculator and then automatically you will get 0. Okay teacher, suppose I don't know how to put it in the calculator. I'm not interested in that. If you are not knowing this one how to put in the calculator, it's very easy. I'll tell you 3. You just find out this value separates. Tan square 2 into 2 times 5 pi by 2. 2 gets cancelled. It is not 2, it is 12. It is 12, sorry. It is 12. So it is gets cancelled, you will get 6. So tan square 5 pi by 6 you will get in the calculator. How? Just put tan 5 pi by 6 in the calculator. Then that answer you square it. After that you put it here, you will get the answer. In this way also you can do. It's very easy. You can put just the value x is equal to what is given as a solution. So in this way you can finish these 2 questions. It's not a big deal. The main thing is solving trigonometrical equations is very important. Okay, right. So let's start the first question. Solve the trigonometric equations. Very important questions. Please concentrate very well. It's so easy if you go with the first rules which I've given. Right. So let's start the solution. Okay. Right. Root 3 cosecant x minus 2 equal to 0. So root 3 cosecant x is equal to, this minus 2 goes that side, which is plus 2. So cosecant x is equal to 2 over square root of 3. Or you can say another thing also, divide by square root of 3, divide by square root of 3. So cosecant x is equal to 2 divided by root 3. I told you we have 3 formulas: sine, cosine, tan. Cosecant x is connected with sine x. What is the formula for cosecant x? Which is 1 over sine x. It means you are going to flip it. So you just flip this also, which is square root of 3 divided by 2. So sine x is equal to root 3 divided by 2. What is our value? The question is solve the trigonometric equation. What do you mean by solve? This is the equation x. So your job is to find the value of x. So solve the trigonometric equations. Then what happens? You just take this as x equals, put in the calculator, sine inverse square root of 3 by 2. Calculator must be in radian mode, keep in your mind. For all the questions in solving trigonometric equations, keep your calculator in the radian mode. So when I put in the calculator sine inverse root 3 by 2, where is sine inverse? Shift sine. Please press the button shift sine. So when I press shift sine, you will get sine inverse fraction mode square root of 3 divided by 2. Then press equal, close the bracket, which is equal to x equals 1 by 3 pi. Sometimes the teachers write like this also, both are same. 1 by 3 pi is same as pi by 3. So x is equal to 1 over 3 pi. Now only the discussion starts. What is the discussion, teacher? Right. Sine, now you got the answer, positive answer. What is the answer you got? Positive answer. Look at the quadrant. Here it is all S, T, C, right? So sine is positive in how many quadrants? Inside all you have sine, cosine and tan. So sine is positive in 2 quadrants. What are they? Quadrant 1. They are positive in quadrant 1 and positive in quadrant number 2. Here is there all S. Right. So in quadrant 1 and in quadrant 2, it is positive. Okay. Right. In quadrant 1, what is the formula I gave you in the first formula sheet? You can see that the first page I give you the formula. All the formulas I've given here. So quadrant 1, x equals theta, pi minus theta, pi plus theta, 2 pi minus theta. Remember this formula. Okay. Right. So the positive, where sign is positive? In quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. So sign is positive in this quadrant. So first quadrant, the formula is x equals theta. In the second quadrant, x equals what? Pi minus theta, right? So x equals theta. What is your answer? You got pi by 3, right? And x equals what you got? Pi minus pi by 3. This is the value of theta. Just imagine this is theta. Okay, right. So what happens now? X equals 3 pi minus pi, which is equal to how much? 2 pi by 3. So x equals pi by 3 and x equals 2 pi by 3. I got two answers. Now you have to write general solution. You have to write what? General solution. Right. General solution, I gave you the formula for three variables, three types of sine and cosine and tan. Okay. Right. What is the formula I gave you for this one? General solution, sine theta, x equals theta plus 2n pi, cosine also theta plus 2n pi, and tan is theta plus n pi. This is the formula. So the same formula, I'm going to use it here also. So general solution. So you got x equals pi by 3 plus you add 2n pi, or use the word x equals 2 pi by 3 and then plus you write 2n pi. What is n? N is an integer, belongs to set of all integers. You just write like this. Okay. So this is your general solution. Clear all of you? Very easy if you remember the first two set of formulas. Let's go to the next question. Solve the trigonometric equation tan x plus root 3 is equal to what? 0. Okay. Right. So question is what? Solve. We are going to solve this one. Ready? Careful. Okay. Solution. Right. Tan x, right, plus root 3 is equal to 0. So tan x is equal to negative root 3. Always whenever you are getting negative angles, be careful. Try to get the positive values and then start working on it. So tan you are getting negative, right? So if I get this one, tan x is equal to what? Tan inverse, you will get root 3 with the negative sign, right? So don't take the negative values, take the positive values so that your answer will be in positive. Otherwise, you have to use reference angle. So in some places, we need to use reference angle, but try to avoid all these things. So when tan x is equal to negative root 3, so in this way, what is the conclusion? Tan is negative. What is the conclusion? Tan is negative. What do you mean by tan is negative? Look here. This is all and this is S and this is T and C. Tan is positive here, right? Cosine is positive here. Sine is positive here. And here sine is positive, cosine is positive, tan is positive, right? Now what is the question now? The discussion is tan is negative. So this is all S, T, C. Where tan negative? Tan is negative here. Where is tan negative? Tan is negative here. Negative. Keep in your mind. Tan is negative. Here positive all. Here sine only positive. So tan is negative. Here tan is positive. I don't want. Here tan is negative. So it means tan is negative in which quadrant? In two quadrants, right? Tan is negative, right? In two quadrants. What are they? Quadrant 2, right? And quadrant what? Number 4. Tan is negative in 4 quadrants. Right. So in the calculator, right now you have to do x equals tan inverse of, just put root 3. Don't put this minus root 3, right? If you put tan inverse of root 3, you will get pi over 3. If you put minus, you will get negative pi over 3. Take the positive angle. Because calculator gives the negative version, we usually prefer positive angles for general solutions. Let me tell you again. we usually prefer positive angles for general solutions. So quadrant 2, what is the formula? X equals pi minus theta. For quadrant 4, what is the formula? X equals 2 pi minus theta. So x equals pi minus theta. What is the theta value? Pi over 3, which I got it here. And x equals 2 pi minus pi over 3. So which is equal to x equals pi minus pi over 3. 3 pi minus pi, which is 2 pi over 3. You can put in the calculator also, no problem. X equals 6 minus 1, which is 5 pi over 3. So I got two answers. X equals 2 pi by 3. X equals 5 pi by 3. Okay, right. Now what will be your general solution? Right. Your general solution is related to tan theta. So if it is tan theta, what is the formula? X equals theta plus n pi and x equals theta plus n pi. Okay, right. So this is going to be x is what? 2 pi by 3 plus n pi, and x equals what? Or you can write x equals 5 pi by 3 plus n pi. So these are the two answers for this question, but one more option is also there. Look at the answer, 2 pi by 3 and 5 pi by 3. Let me see here. 2 pi by 3, you just add 1 pi. What is your answer? Which is equal to what? 3 pi plus 2 pi, which you are getting 5 pi by 3. So usually we can also write, some people will be writing, that is also correct. We can also write x equals one answer, which is 2 pi by 3 plus n pi. This is also correct and this is also correct. If there is a small variations, that is if they differ by only 1 pi, we can write one answer. These are all small techniques, but if you write this also correct and this also correct. Okay. So in this way, you're going to discuss, leave here, don't put negative signs in the calculator. Try to get the positive value. And if you put negative also, your answer will be negative. If you put negative here, you will get negative here. That's it. So if you put positive here, positive here. If same answers with positive and negative, we can go ahead. But if you get different answers, positive one answer and negative different answer, then you have to follow different idea. Keep in your mind. If that situation comes, I will tell you again. Solve the trigonometric equation sin x plus 1 is equal to 0. Right? This is the next question. You can see it is in products. So solve. So let's go to the solution. Right? Let's go to the solution. Sin x times sin x plus 1 equal to 0. Whenever two products are equal to 0, each one is equal to 0. Sin x is equal to 0 and sin of x plus 1 equal to 0. Okay. I'm sorry. Sin of x plus 1 equal to 0. Okay. So the equation is sin x is equal to 0. I'm sorry. This one is sin x plus 1 equal to 0. Not an angle. This is an angle. Right. Sin x is equal to 0. X is equal to sin inverse 0. Let us discuss this one. Sin inverse 0. You already studied in the schools. Sin 0 is 0. Sin pi is also 0. Sin multiples of pi is always 0. You can put in the calculator. Sin inverse 0 is not only pi. You just try in the calculator. Sin pi, you try in the calculator, you will get 0. Sin 2 pi, you will put in the calculator, you will get 0. Sin 3 pi, you put in the calculator, you will get 0. It means multiples of pi for a sine angle is equal to 0. This is the rule. Okay, keep in your mind. Right. So in general, we can write it as what? N pi. N starting from what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Okay. Let's discuss this side. So sin x is equal to -1. Be careful. Okay. Right. -1. So if I take sine inverse -1. If I put this in the calculator, you will get x equals minus pi by 2. You can check out in the calculator. When I put this one, sine inverse, shift sine inverse, put -1, you will get minus pi by 2. Minus pi by 2. Your interval is 0 to 2 pi. Where is my pi by 2? Out of the interval. So this is not going to be your solution. Keep in your mind. This is out of the interval 0, 2 pi because negative pi by 2. So which answer will give you minus 1? Which answer will give you minus 1? Okay. So for this, the best idea is to find out that angle. It's very difficult for you as a student. As a teachers, we know what angles, what value I put here, I will get minus 1. But for you, you cannot able to guess it immediately. For this, you will get an idea of reference angle, which you studied in the module 1. Okay. Also, I gave the formula here in the first page. Reference angle I gave you, right? Did I give you reference angle? Let me check it out. Reference angle, no, I didn't give reference angle formula. Let me write the formula reference angle. Okay, the third formula is reference angle, right? What is the formula for reference angle? Which is theta plus 2 pi. Reference angle is theta plus 2 pi. It actually is called positive reference angle. If you want to get positive, okay, it's also not reference angle. Actually, we can say as coterminal angle. Sorry, this is a coterminal formula for positive coterminal angle. Positive coterminal angle. Positive coterminal angle is theta plus 2 pi. So this formula will help you to do this question, because to guess what is the value of sine theta, you need to guess it. So what will happen now, the thing is which you are going to get is so theta plus 2 pi. If I use this formula, this is coterminal angle. Okay, also you can use it also coterminal angle as a reference one. So coterminal angle theta plus 2 pi, so which is negative pi by 2 plus 2 pi, which gives 3 pi by 2. Okay, right. Now you try this 3 pi by 2 inside here. Take your calculator and check sine 3 pi by 2 in the calculator. Let me check also. So sine 3 pi by 2, fraction mode, 3 shift pi divided by 2. I'm getting minus 1. So it means what? 3 pi by 2, is it in our interval? Let's check. 3 times 180 divided by 2, right? So 2 gets cancelled with this 90. So which is equal to 270. 270 is inside here, right? Yes. So this angle is allowed. So x equals, your answer is what? 3 pi by 2, and this is a positive value. X equals what? 3 pi by 2 is a positive value, right? So that is why we are taking this one. Why we are not taking this 90? Because which is outside of this interval 0, 2 pi, right? So this is the way we are not doing this one. So we are looking for exact value, not range of values. Keep in your mind, okay? So automatically this will take the forms x equals, right, 3 pi by 2, right? 3 pi by 2, that's the value. 3 pi by 2 is the value, right? Because it's positive, right? So how we are going to write the answer? We are going to write the answer two answers, right? So one will be what? X, that is called general solution. So general solution will be x equals n pi, right? Or x equals what? 3 pi by 2 plus 2n pi, right? Where n belongs to what? N belongs to set of all integers. N belongs to what? Set of all integers. Right, let's go to the next question. Next question, I'm going to do some extra question because little confusions with 3 questions. So we'll do some extra questions to get some ideas, okay? So let's go to the solution, right? Okay, 3 sine x plus 1 equal to sine x. So 3 sine x plus 1, I'll bring this minus sine x equal to 0. 3 times 1 time, which will give you 2 sine x plus 1 equal to 0. Again, I'll repeat, 3 sine x minus sine x, it's just 2 sine x. So 2 sine x is equal to negative 1. 2 sine x is equal to what? Negative 1. There is a negative, be careful. So from this, what is the conclusion? Sine is negative. Sine is what? Negative. Let's go to the quadrant. All S, T, C. Here sine positive, tan positive, cosine positive, all positive. That means sine, cosine, tan. Let's talk about now sine negative. Sine what? Negative. So where sine is negative? Here all S, T, C. Where is sine negative? Sine negative here, sine negative here. Okay. Right. So just put in the calculator sine x is equal to minus 1 by 2. So x is equal to sine inverse. Don't put negative, just put 1 by 2. If you put negative, you will get negative answer. The same answer will come. But if you put positive, you will get pi over 6. Actually, in the calculator, you will get 1 over 6 pi. Both are same. Keep in your mind. So sine is negative in how many quadrants? 2 quadrants. Which quadrant? Quadrant number 3 and quadrant number 4. Right? What is the formula for quadrant number 3? X is equal to what? Pi plus theta. Quadrant number 4, x is equal to what? 2 pi minus theta. Okay? Right. So when you have x equals pi plus theta, so x equals pi plus 1 over 6 pi. This answer, right? So this answer I am going to put it. Here x equals 2 pi minus pi over 6. So x equals, this will be what? 7 pi over 6. This will be what? 6 2 is 8. Sorry, 6 2 is 12. 12 minus 1 is 11 pi over 6. Right? This is for quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. Now we have to write what? General solution. This is a sine quantity. You have to write 2 pi, 2n pi. So x equals 7 pi by 6 plus 2n pi, or we can write x equals 11 pi by 6 plus 2n pi, where n is an integer, belongs to set of all integers. Clear all of you? Right. Let's do one more question, right? I'm so very much interested in solving trigonometric equations. That's why I took 2 questions more, even though the time is not there. It's okay, let's solve. So let us start the solution. Let's start the solution. 4 cosine square x minus 1 equal to 0. So 4 cosine square x equals, this one goes that side, which is 1. So I divide by 4, I divide by 4. So cosine square x is equal to 1 by 4. So I'll take the square root, I'll take the square root. So when I take the square root, I get cosine x is equal to plus or minus square root of 1 over 4. So I get cosine x is equal to plus or minus square root of 1 by square root of 4, or you can put in the calculator, which is 1 over 2. So you get 2 answers. What are the answers you have? One answer is cosine x is equal to 1 over 2. Right? And here cosine x is equal to what? Negative 1 over 2. Be careful with the negative. Right? Yes. So what we are going to do, when I put cosine x equal to, you can go to the calculator. You can put this as inverse. So cosine x is equal to 1 over 2. X equals, you put cosine inverse 1 by 2 in the calculator to get the arguments. Shift cosine inverse fraction mode 1 over 2. Press it. You will get 1 by 3 pi, which is pi over 3. I'm not putting negative, just I'm putting the positive value. Okay, right. So let me divide it. Right. Now let's start. Cos x is equal to 1 over 2, right? So here it is what? Cosine is positive, right? And here cosine is negative. Keep in your mind, cosine is negative. Let me check here. All STC. So cosine is positive in this quadrant and this quadrant. So it means what? Cosine is positive in quadrant number 1 and in quadrant number what? 4. Right? Cosine is negative. Look here. This is all STC. Okay, right. Where cosine is negative, here cosine is positive, cosine is positive. So quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. So quadrant 2 and quadrant 3, right? So cosine is negative. What is the formula for quadrant 1? I told you already, x is equal to theta, which is equal to pi over 3. For quadrant 4, what is the formula? 2 pi minus theta. So which is 2 pi minus pi over 3. So which is x equals 5 pi over 3. This is pi. Okay. Right. Now here what is the formula for quadrant 2? X equals pi minus theta. So x equals pi minus pi by 3. So x equals 2 pi by 3. Quadrant 4, sorry 3. What's the formula? X equals pi plus theta. So x equals pi plus pi over 3. Okay. So x equals 3 pi plus 1, 4 pi over 3. So look at this, very nice, right? So many values are there, beautiful, right? So what we are going to write? We are going to write now the general solution, right? So what is the general solution? We are going to write x equals pi by 3 plus, this is a sine theta or cosine theta, so 2n pi, or x equals 5 pi by 3 plus 2n pi, or we can write x equals 2 pi by 3 plus 2n pi, or we can write x equals 4 pi by 3 plus 2n pi, and n belongs to integers, set of all integers. Or instead of writing too many things, you look here, when you put pi by 3 plus 1 pi, I told you in the previous question, you remember, there is a small variations in pi. This question I told you, and here, not here, I think this one, yes. When you add this one, you just see here, 2 pi by 3 plus pi, you are getting pi by 3. Instead of writing these two answers, we can write one answer, right? The same manner, you look here, when you look here, this answers, even though the answers are too many, when you add this one pi by 3, okay, I'll change another color. So if you have pi by 3 and just add this one, okay, so immediately you'll just jumping into next one. So instead of writing all these things together, you can also write as x equals, just take one value pi by 3 plus n pi or 2n pi, and 2 pi by 3 plus n pi or 2n pi, you can write it. But I don't want to confuse you. You can also write, I said. So this is going to become your general solution. Clear all of you? Right. So this finishes your exercise 7.3, right? So one thing I wanted to mention in this, it means what are the things you should be carefully remembering. Always isolate the trigonometric function first. It means what? Sin x is equal to, cosine x is equal to, tan x is equal to, like that. The second point, use reference angles. Let me write. The first point, always you try to write the equation sin x is equal to, cosine x is equal to, tan x is equal to. These are the tips I'm telling you. If there is a possibility of getting negative values, you try to use reference angle to make it positive. Then don't forget to write the general solution. General solution means what? Adding 2n pi, adding 2n pi, adding n pi for tan theta. For sine and cosine, 2n pi. Right. And carefully check your quadrants. Where it is positive, where it is negative. That is very, very important. Check your calculator, check your quadrant. Next, the last is use your calculator wisely. What's your man wisely? Brilliant way. Because negative values, please do not allow. Use your calculator wisely for inverse values, but adjust based on the quadrant logic. Sometimes you cannot directly take your calculator values. You have to accept the quadrant logic. So these are the 5 points you have to be very careful when you are doing this exercise. Okay, everybody? Clear? Right. So, alhamdulillah, we finished verifying, solving trigonometric equations, right? Step by step. I hope it's very easy for you to understand, and also you can easily solve the problems related to what? Solving trigonometric equations. If you really learned something today, don't forget to hit like button and write a comment below if you have any questions. And subscribe to support the channel. See you in the next video. Inshallah. Take care. Bye bye.